like? What did she do all day?
She worked in the fields.
She picked cotton?
Picked cotton. Whatever we had to do. Chop cotton.
Now tell me about your dad who died.
I don't know. I never seen my father.
What was his name?
Ernest.
Ernest Yates.
Ernest Yates.
Okay. And how did he die?
A gravel pit caved in on him and another man. Right up from where we lived. And they were taken for the first time making gravels and making roads out of them,
right.
You know, putting it on there. But they couldn't get my father out.
So he died in 1931? 1941. 1941. Right about
1931.
1931, okay. And what was his job before he died? What did he do for a living?
Farmer.
Okay, same thing you guys did. Everybody worked in the field, the whole family.
Oh yeah. And then, and they had to do this, the work that he was doing at the time when this happened. Everybody had to work, take one day a month and work for nothing.
Right.
For the county.
Almost like a community service.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
What about school, Grandma? If you were working, how did you go to school?
As soon as I would get out of school, I would head for the fields.
And your parents would be waiting for you?
Oh yeah.
Now tell me
they would already be, you know, doing their work. But on Saturdays we worked all day long. Sundays we went to church. That was the only day of rest we had, but we had to, you know, go to church. Walk.
Now tell me what your school was like. When did you start school? When you were 5?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What was your school like? Was it like my school is now, or it was totally different?
It's like the schools right now.
Was it a one-room schoolhouse, or did you have classrooms? 2 rooms. Now, who was in each room? How many students were in each room, and how old were they?
They was one first through the 6th grade.
Okay.
In those 2 schoolrooms.
Well, where did you go after 6th grade? Was there a high school?
Huh?
Was there a high school?
Yeah, in Atala.
In Atala. How far was Atala?
Oh, Lord, I don't know. It must have been about 30 miles or more.
Did they have a school bus?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How far did you live from your school, your elementary school?
We had lived about a mile and a half. We had to walk.
Okay. I guess it was cold in the winter, huh?
It was.
Did you have boots and everything?
Huh?
Did you have boots and everything?
Oh, heavens no.
What kind of clothes did you wear growing up?
What time clothes?
What kind of clothes?
Mostly our overalls.
Okay. What kind
and we had to go to church. We would have Sunday clothes.
Something nice.
We got two things of for 1 year. We get one for Sundays and one to go to school and work.
So 2 pairs of shoes every year.
Mm-hmm. That is it.
So you wore your overalls to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did everybody?
Not all the time.
Yeah.
No, everybody didn't.
What, the other kids at school, were they mostly farming families too, or did they do other things?
A lot of them did. Being from Atala, our school, a lot of people had their own, like, filling stations and little. They had their income.
Right.
They didn't pick up, but they accepted us.
You weren't embarrassed that you had on overalls?
Didn't bother me a bit. And honey, I was one that the teacher would get up, and if she had to go to the doctor and what have you in high school, I was one. Aura, would you teach the class today?
What would you teach?
Math, geography, whatever.
How did you know so much?
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm a overly proud person. I was, to a certain extent. But I was way beyond the other kids by the time they started.
Right. Okay.
Because my brothers and my grandmother, she was a school teacher.
Okay.
And she started teaching me very, very young.
Did she live with you growing up?
We lived in, yes, at one time.
Okay. Well, how old were you when you learned to read and do math?
Oh, when I was about 3 years old.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
When did you have time to learn how to read? When you were picking cotton all day?
In the afternoon.
Okay.
I mean, at night.
This sounds
Our own, whenever we'd get to church and come home, then I would do it.
Did you have electricity?
No way.
Well, how did you light your house?
Lamps.
Like kerosene?
Oil,
Uh-huh. You had an outhouse?
Yeah.
When did you get electricity in your home?
I got the electricity put in the house whenever I was 15 years old.
Okay.
I picked cotton
Uh-huh.
for other people,
Uh-huh.
and the money went to that.
But no running water?
No. We had wells, no.
Okay, you had a well. What
we
about...
had two.
Well, how did you keep things cold in the summer?
Well, we would had a special bucket that we lowered our milk down into the well, and that kept it cool. And then I worked outside of home and in the field, and I got a ice, one of those. This came before the refrigerators did.
An ice box?
Huh?
An ice box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how we did that.